was good.
Has your sort of like social life changed since you won that? Because obviously that's a massive achievement to be a national champion in something. Have you had like a lot of people come up to you and ask to train with you, or have you had collaborations with brands? I know you're obviously sponsored by GSP supplements.
JSP, we started working together way before I started bodybuilding.
Oh, right, okay.
So we've been loyal to each other since day one. So that they've been there to support me. So that's been really, really nice. They even came to my first competition, all of them. So I really, really, really appreciate that. But in terms of my social circle, I think my social circle has decreased.
Yeah.
Because your life does become a lot about like training, and I thrive in my training when I train by myself. I don't know about others. Other people like prefer
Same. Absolutely.
Group training.
Yeah.
I can't do it. If someone is constantly expecting me to talk to them during training,
Oh, yeah,
it's
no.
just not happening.
So we can train together, but at the same time, I would rather train on my own.
Yeah, I have to be like really comfortable with a person to train with them, and just be like, when I'm like severely out of breath, like don't expect me to have a conversation with you. Like it's just not happening. I have had girls reach out to me wanting to train with me, but I just can't. Firstly, I don't want to train with others, unless I know that they're gonna push me to my limits.
Yeah, you don't.
So they've got to be at least your level or more advanced.
Yeah,
in a way, yeah. I try not to say that though, because I do feel bad of like, saying that out loud, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I said, sorry, I can't train with you. You're actually not on my level.
No,
that sounds so egotistical.
That does sound egotistical, but that's not what I mean by that. I'm just like,
no.
Because I know that if I'm training with someone, I'm gonna have to push to my limits, and then also pull somebody else's limits. So I'm like, I want to put my energy into my training, because every session does count when you're on prep.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I've trained with people in the past before, and I've been training with them, and they've just been on their phone just like this. Like when I'm doing my set, I'm thinking, how are you going to push me if you're just scrolling on Tinder?
I do that though. Yeah.
But like obviously, when you're in prep, you want someone to spot you and push you. You don't want them, on their phone on Tinder seeing who the next match is.
I've gotten very comfortable with like asking strangers to spot me though. So I'll just be in the gym, like, training by myself, and I'll just be like, I'll just look around me, I'll see who the biggest guy is, and I'll be like, would you mind spotting me for this set?
I suppose you got decent people there. In our gym, I don't want to ask anyone, because on the amount of times I said, can you please not grab the bar when I'm benching? And they hold the bar the whole time. And I'm like, I literally just told you, don't grab the bar. I said, if I need help, I will say no, and I'll shake my head. You'll know when I need you.
Yeah.
But still, and I know this is going completely off topic, but
it's good to see. It's good to see a female who is comfortable in a gym environment, because I feel like a lot of girls these days feel so uncomfortable.
That's true.
I'm not trying to say it's like a masculine environment, but like there's a lot of men. If you look at the ratio of men to women in a gym, it tends to be like 70% men, and I feel like a lot of girls get like sort of put off like training hard because they don't want to ask like a man for like a spot or something, or they feel very uncomfortable. But it's really good to see that you're like, you'll go to the biggest guy and just ask him for a spot, and I like that. And I think that if any girl could get your attitude, I think they would make a lot of progress. And
Thanks, I really appreciate that.
I think that's important, because I've got a lot of I know a girl who wants to compete. I don't know whether she told me about it in passing before, and I don't know if it's serious or whether it's just like a thing. And I think if you had to give girls advice on potentially competing, what would you say? Would you tell them to just do it, or would you say to like try something first to know if you'd actually want to do it, or like maybe like a mock sort of prep?
I think the best advice I could give to someone is finding a coach that works for you.
So like you find you plug your own coach services.
So you have to find somebody that works with you. So there are certain coaches that have their style of training. There are certain like big companies for bikini bodybuilding, and they each have their own look, and you have to really align with that. So once you find a good coach, they will give you advice on posing, they will give you advice on nutrition, they'll give you advice on training, they will work around like your mindset. Just having that someone who really understands you and can get you to your level, to your like next level. But in terms of competing for the first time, go into an off season. Like don't go into like prep thinking, oh, like
I
I
like
want to
some of
start,
that.
I want to start like cutting down, because you have you been in an off season long enough to have a base to cut down to?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people start cutting down way too early and they don't have enough of that muscle development underneath to showcase. They kind of just jump into it, and I'm like, well, once you cut down, you're just gonna be lean.
Yeah, you're not going to look like developed.
Yeah, you're gonna look like in a way that you're going on holiday, like you've cut down for a holiday because you ain't got the muscle development underneath it. So it's really important to not skip that first stage and like really focus on growing and
Just get
progressively
massive.
overloading.
Yeah. Just go